everyone, and welcome to Safe with Jen, our episode on how to prep your kitchen when you are preparing food for someone with food allergies. So there are different groups of people watching right now, right? We've got those with food allergies that have been living with it for a while. We have my family and friends who are supporting me. We have those who are newly diagnosed with food allergies. And then we have those who are frustrated with food allergies and just don't know how to accommodate it because they're not living this life. And there's this level of frustration on what am I going to do? I'm here to help. It's very easy. Number one is always, if you're going to have an event and there's somebody that you know that has food allergies and you're nervous, one, just call them, right? They are more than happy to have the conversation with you. However, it is terrifying having that conversation and broaching the subject prior to the host bringing it up. It can be scary because we know that people do find this frustrating. I got news for you. So do we. I've said that before, right? We don't want the food allergies. And so that's your number one step, is really just to call them. Number two, remember that the invite is important. So I always say to my friends, if you don't think that it's an event that we're going to be able to handle for my son that has food allergies, just invite us and let us make the decision, okay? So that's a really good go-to process in terms of deciding whether or not to invite somebody. Always include the child. Exclude the food, right? If possible, but always include the child. That's so important. And then we're moving on to how to prep the kitchen. It's actually very easy to do. If you're newly diagnosed, you might just want to, and depending on what your food allergies are, if you have milk, a dairy allergy, and an egg allergy, you might just want to start from scratch. That's what we did. Not everybody can afford to do that, but even if you just get the basics, like one pan that you know has never touched eggs or dairy, you just might want to start there. For those who have had food allergies for a while, your kitchen probably already looks like this. And for those who are accommodating, there's two categories of you as well. There's ones that are just accommodating for like a one-time thing, and then there's family members who have a grandchild or a niece or nephew that's just been diagnosed, and you just don't know what to do for those Sunday dinners, and how am I going to navigate through? For you, foil is going to be your best bet. Foil is a go-to for people with food allergies. You're going to see in a lot of my episodes I use foil, especially for just steaming things on the grill, because the grill could be an area of cross-contamination. Covering a cookie sheet and baking on foil, those are all ways that you can prevent cross-contamination. But for those family members who are going to have people in your life that have food allergies over quite a bit, you might just want to get the basics. I know my mother-in-law, when she started cooking for us, she's always cooked for us, but when we had our son and we had food allergies, and she knew that she was going to have to do this, she just started with the basics and has it in her kitchen, and she's grown in her pieces. But one good step to tell the difference between your regular stuff and the stuff you're using for the person with food allergies is color coding. It's as simple as that. There are many different colors out there that you can choose from. My family chose red just because it was bling bling in your face. Don't use that on anything else, okay? So here's your basics. You have a slotted spoon, a regular spoon, a spatula, a cutting board. I didn't find it in red when I was looking, but I had it in pink, which was close enough. A cookie sheet actually is pretty basic. Sometimes you can get them color-coded on the edges, but if not, you can just label the back and know that you're always going to put foil on it anyway. And then our pan and our colander. These are important. Let me tell you about the colander and why. So people with gluten or egg allergies can't have typical pasta, right? Because that will have egg or gluten in it. And when you're straining pasta in your regular strainer, little bits of that pasta will get in those holes. It takes that much to cause a reaction, okay? A speck of dust can cause a reaction for somebody with food allergies. So just make sure that you do have a strainer. So pans, one thing that you should know about pans is that Stainless steel pans, if they're washed really well, can actually be reused. They don't hold on to the food allergen protein as much as say a Teflon pan would. You would never want to cook for somebody with food allergies with a Teflon pan. But again, if you are color coding, then you know that you're never going to use anything in this pan other than the food for your food allergic person. And it's as simple as that. So this can store very easily, very nicely in one little spot in your kitchen. It's that easy. And again, foil, we can do lots of different things with foil. We can cover our cookie sheets. So if you're watching and you are just hosting somebody over for a birthday party, you can, if you typically birthday parties have cupcakes or cakes, instead of baking in your cake pans, go to the store and there's tons of different options. Foil pans, foil cake pans, foil muffin pans, because those won't hold on to the allergen like your muffin pans. I know with mine, they get dark, right? And in the crevices, sometimes it's really hard to get all of those proteins out of there. So we're just reducing the risk by using something with foil, okay? On the grill, if you're grilling and you're having somebody over with food allergies, a couple different things you can do. We always just wrap our hot dogs in foil, fold them up, our corn on the cob, we pop it on. If you're going to be doing something like burgers on the grill, you could layer a sheet pan with foil on it and put that on the grill and do them that way. Because if you fold burgers in, just as an example, sometimes, so there's some foods that won't translate nicely. You can get a grill mat that's used just for that purpose. They're relatively inexpensive. Again, or just like a little cookie sheet, maybe something out of your toaster oven with foil on it and pop that on the grill. Okay, so that's my point in all of this. My point is that there's options, and accommodating someone with food allergies is actually relatively simple. It depends on what you're doing. Are you accommodating somebody all the time? Then maybe have a basic kit in your kitchen. Okay, it's as easy as that. Or are you accommodating somebody for a party? Have a lot of foil on hand. Okay. Another thing that you're going to want to know is that cleaning things for somebody with food allergies really shouldn't be done with your normal sponge in your kitchen. It's just an extra layer of protection to make sure that those individuals are safe. You can have a paper towel with soap and scrub it down like that easy, okay? You're just gonna wanna give everything a little bit of extra attention, a little bit of extra care. Wash things down, dry them with paper towels, keep them off to the side. There are actually going to be tips and resources for you written out on my website. This was a basic overview. Again, the best thing to do is always talk to the person with food allergies. You bring up the conversation, okay? Make it easy for them. Be welcoming, be accommodating, because believe it or not, it's really not that hard once we just know what we don't know, okay? So check out the website, safewithjen.com. Under our resources tab, we're gonna have lots of good tips for you. And if you'd like, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer your specific questions. Remember, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Safe with Jen, for current and updated information on how to keep it simple, keep it smart, and keep it safe for those with food allergies. Thanks, take care.